Look at this. All right. Let's see if this works here. All right, I think I got this licked, everybody. All right, I think I got this licked, everybody. All right. Thanks, Stephen Smith. Stefan Smith, if you will. My shit is together. How's the audio? Can you hear okay? So Joe Waters wants to know how the crowdfunding is. Crowdfunding's coming along. For those of you who don't know, the crowdfunding question is for the graphic novel, the Brandon Novak Chronicles, that I'm currently writing. It's half done. Wow, look at this. This actually works here. Okay. So everybody, how is the audio? Let's start with that. No copyrighted music. Am I going to get in trouble for this? All right, no music here. All right. So anyway, yeah, so the last question was about the graphic novel. Again, the graphic novel, the Brandon Novak Chronicles, is one half done. Here is the cover image. We just got this printed up, and I'm very excited about it. Of course, it looks backwards here, but it's really not. The graphic novel will be not backwards. The artist is Emmanuel Roxy Koch. For those of you who aren't friends with him on Facebook, you got to go friend him. Emmanuel Roxy Koch. His artwork is amazing. For those of you who have not seen the graphic novel trailer, you can hit up the channel. There's an interview we did for Skull and Crutches on it, and then there's the crowdfunding video and official trailer. Novak's a beast. Yes, he is. Okay, so here we go. James Matthews wants to know, where's Bam been? Bam has been in Europe. He called me the other night, and he wanted me to come out and bring my 16mm Bolex and start filming him with that, like we used to do back in the day. I don't think that's a possibility. It's way too expensive to do, and I'd love to go. I'd love to go to Spain, but I'm a little too busy right now. Oblivion Wing says the trailer for the graphic novel was great. Thank you so much. We actually spent a lot of time with that graphic novel trailer. It was that took a lot of time. It took a lot more time than I thought it would when we first started. Wow, I can't believe I actually got Google Hangouts to work. This is pretty surreal for me. Step up in technology. Who knew? All right. Any more questions? No? No questions? Getting once. Getting twice. Oh, has anyone checked out the new Bill O'Reilly scandal? Oh my God, Bill, what are you doing? So there's a woman, as we all know, he's been in a lot of trouble. There was the one woman who he called, and I believe he was drunk in the middle of the night. So he calls her up and starts saying that he wants to take her in the shower. And Bill O'Reilly told her that he wanted to seduce her by using a loofah. But if you read the transcripts, he was so drunk that he got the word loofah mixed up with falafel. So he's trying to seduce a woman on the phone, telling her that he wants to rub a falafel all over her body, which is hilarious. Yeah, so Bill O'Reilly, he just got in trouble. Apparently there was an African-American woman working at Fox News, and he would pass her desk making grunting noises, which if you're an old man like Bill O'Reilly, that's not a good way to seduce a woman. And he also referred to her as, quote, hot chocolate, which I believe is a reference to her race, which is, you know, a lot of people joke around like this stuff in the workplace, but if you're going to joke around about something like that with someone, make sure they're your friend and they like you and they get the joke and you have a good rapport. Oh my God. All right. So, okay. So Brian Brunel wants to know how Novak is holding together. Novak is doing great. I never thought I would be saying this, but he travels the country every day, all day, helping addicts in need, getting them into rehabilitation clinics. He actually will fly out if someone, yeah, okay, so it's weird because for 20 years, basically, through active addiction, Novak has kind of been, he's bad at explaining very technical things. So he was telling me he has this job at this rehab. And so I start hanging out with him. I don't really understand what he did at this point. So he had two phones, and the one phone he kept saying, "FRANTZ, I got to take this. FRANTZ, I got to take this. This is work. FRANTZ, I'm like, what are you doing, Brandon?" So apparently he was explaining to me that addicts in need would call him up. He has a number that he gives out in his social media. And if they're in a bad way and they've hit rock bottom and they're on death's edge, they will call him and he will help get them into a rehab. And so he communicates with people that are there with him, whether it's a family member or loved one or friend, and they keep the person there while Brandon arranges to get the person into a rehab. So this is what he does. This is his occupation. And I never would have thought. Oh, look at this. XXXFF7 girl says she loves me. Thank you. I appreciate that. How long has this been live? Jay Foreman wants to know. Oh my God, we just started, but I've been messing around with this Google Hangouts all day. I couldn't figure it out. I tried, what was it called? Wirecast, which sucks. I don't recommend anyone ever use Wirecast. Joe Waters says Bill loves the bitches, man. I don't know what that means, but okay. Oh, Bill O'Reilly. Yeah, yeah, Bill. Oh my God. James says he's been an addict for 7 years on oxys. Must be difficult. Novak does have a number on his social media. If you need help, give him a call. That's what he's there for. That's what he does. Jeff Cohen wants me to talk about Cool Duder. I don't have anything to say about Cool Duder. We reached out to each other. Well, he reached out to me after my last broadcast, and we talked a little bit. I don't know. We seem to have a disagreement as to the way our relationship unfolded in the past, and that's cool. My memory is pretty good about it. He seems to remember it a different way, but whatever. Cool Duder I like Cool Duder. I love the dude, actually. Wish him well. But you know, our relationship is kind of in the past for now. Who knows? Maybe we'll rekindle things in a year or two. But I don't know. Sometimes when your feelings get hurt by someone that you work with and you care for, it takes a while to heal. You know, sometimes you got to get back into your own corners of the ring and catch your breath and come back out and give each other a hug at the end of the match. Okay, Hunter Vex wants to know, will we see the Don Vito tooth pull footage at any time soon? I don't own the footage. I shot the footage. I shot it on Super 16mm film, and I don't own the footage. So Dick House and Paramount own that. I actually own Don Vito's tooth, and I had it framed, and I had Don Vito sign it, and the Margera sign it, and it's Don Vito's tooth. It's hanging on my wall. Still has his blood on it, so I have Don Vito's DNA. Someday I'm going to scrape it off and get Don Vito cloned. Floris Dujan thanks me for my 16mm work on Viva La Bam and all that stuff through the years. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun shooting film. Someone just asked where Novak is. You got to go back in the video. Let me see here. Oh, Joe Waters says Samantha, his girlfriend, is a fan, and she's sitting watching with him right now. I hope I'm not boring your girlfriend. Thank you very much. Hunterbeck says he cried when Don Vito died. Yeah, that was a real loss. Don Vito was a great guy. Although, one of the last times I hung out with Don Vito, he punched me in the face. And we had a disagreement about something that happened years ago on the Jackass set. I played a pretty mean prank on him, and he never forgave me. And I brought it up in front of everybody, and he turned around and punched me in the face. And I reacted. I'm used to Don Vito being this tough guy. I mean, he is tough. I remember years ago, preamble to the story I'm telling, we were at a bar, and he had just got done signing on autographs. Two Italian dudes come up to him. And, these guys are typical South Philly Italians, right? They got the gold chains. They're wearing Brute 33. They got the mousse in their hair, Jersey Shore type. And they were like, "Yo, Don Vito, you Italian?" And they said, "Yeah, I'm Italian." They said, "Well, that's good because we're Italian too." And that's all they had to say. So then I looked up to him and goes, "Don Vito, you're an asshole. You know what? You're a fat fuck. Everybody who watches Viva La Bam, they aren't laughing with you. They're laughing at you. What do you think? What do you think of that, fat fuck?" Now, Don Vito is going like this with his hand the whole time. And I know what that means. He's getting his strength up. He has a very powerful hand. So he turns around, grabs the dude by the neck, spins the guy around, pins him against the bar with his one hand, and holds up the other hand. And just like Karate Kid Part 2, he goes, "Live or die." And the guy goes, "Live." So anyway, one of the last times I hung out with Don Vito, I brought up a prank that I had done to him on the set of Jackass, and he was so mad that I brought it up because he thought everyone forgot, and he turned around and punched me in the face. So I just reacted, and I just pushed into him because I'm used to him being this big, strong, tough guy, and he was so frail, and he fell to the ground. And the whole room just was quiet. And he looked up at me and he goes, "How did you do that?" And that's when I realized that his health was decaying. And, that's when I realized how bad he had gotten. So, okay. So, I'm falling back here. Are these my books in the background? Someone wants to know where I am. This is my secret compound. There's a bunch of blankets. I am in an undisclosed location in my own personal library. And it's a secret where I am. It's a secret. Don Vito versus Evil Jared. Evil Jared is... The times I worked with, I realized on this when we did the scavenger hunt episode of Viva La Bam, how strong. I remember I never really hung out with Evil Jared of the Bloodhound Gang too much, and then I saw him run after Dunn, and so he's running after Ryan Dunn. He goes, "Dunn, get your ass over here!" And he ran like a gazelle. That's the only way I can describe. He was so fast and so athletically inclined and so powerful. So I would think that even in Don Vito's prime, Evil Jared would kill Don Vito. Okay, Dude Since 441 wants to know, what's Jimmy Pop up to? I talked to him probably about 9 months ago, and he's pretty much retired. That's what he told me. I don't know if he has plans. I know he's constantly working on his music and his projects. He has a studio there in the house where he records and all that stuff. But he told me he was kind of semi-retired, just taking it easy, doing his thing. Good for him. That makes one of us. I don't know. I've always thought that if I retired, I would become a teacher, because that's my idea of retiring. For me, teaching isn't really work. It's a lot of fun working with young people and just sharing ideas. Being a film teacher, oh my God, you get paid to watch cool movies with kids and talk about why the movies are cool. That's pretty cool. What is it? Marty Gibson says nobody wants to talk about the other guys in Jackass, just the overrated members. Now, Marty, everybody has feelings here. Let's not be mean to each other. James Matthews wants to know how we can get in touch with Novak. I don't know, man. You go through his Twitter and his Instagram and you know, that's how you get in touch with him. Do I like Stephen King books or film adaptations? I just recently saw The Stand again, and I remember when that was a big television event. You know, Molly Ringwald and everything, and I remember when that broadcasted, and I watched it now, having watched all the evil. You know, the movie's about a plague upon humanity, and it's fun to watch now after all these years and kind of watch how, I don't want to say primitive, but how, you know, you watch older shows and a lot of them kind of seem unsophisticated by today's standards. And, you know, that's why 80s and early 90s comedies are so good, because they don't try too hard, you know. A lot of them were just loosely scripted, improved, you know, like your John Candy movies and stuff. Anyway, I'm digressing here. Where's Rake? Rake's being a dad and being a scientist and improving humanity through chemistry. What Rizyaki Koizumi wants to know, what's up, FRANTZ? What have I been doing lately in terms of cinematography? I just do network reality shows, really. National Geographic, Discovery Channel, a lot less MTV stuff these days. You know, I basically get paid to go on adventures with my friends and film fun shows. You know, the shows are interesting. You know, I just like that someone's actually willing to pay me to go out and make little movies with my friends. It's so fun. You know, I basically have fun all day, every day with my friends. And yeah, like the work is hard. I mean, you're, you know, doing like National Geographic or Discovery or Travel Channel. It's like you're lugging camera gear up mountains and, you know, but you're going up a mountain and you're getting exercise and breathing fresh air and you're filming, I don't know, bike riders and hikers and cactus and mountains. And it's so cool. Been a lot of, all right. Katie Louise says she's not trying to spam me, but she's trying to get an answer. I don't know. What was the question? Oh, you wrote, yeah. Did you? Okay. Katie, I will check my Twitter mail. Thank you for that. She wrote a book and I would love to have a copy and she wants to send it to me. Wonderful. Florence Dugan went to Iceland a couple weeks ago, visited the big waterfall where we shot the 16mm of Dunn going over in the barrel. And he's asked me where exactly it was. I don't know, so many years ago. And you don't really know where you were in Iceland back then. There was no GPS, right? There was no iPhones. You couldn't, this is our Iceland water episode, the Iceland waterfall episode, the lost episode of Evil Band that we filmed when we pushed Ryan Dunn over the waterfall in a barrel. It was interesting because even my compass didn't work up there because there's no true north up there, right? So the compass, you know, it was funny because everyone, and a lot of the roads aren't even on the maps, right? So you have a map with roads and you're on a road that's not on the map and the compass needle's just kind of going like this. It was that was really an adventure. Do I still Joe Waters wants to know if I still want to see Justin Bieber play Novak in a movie. Absolutely, just because it would humiliate Justin Bieber. Chris Butts wants to know how the graphic novel is coming along, the Brandon Novak Chronicles. It's at a standstill till we get the fundraiser money. For those of you who want to see all the cool things that we're offering, I don't have any around here, but go down my YouTube page and you'll see a trailer for the graphic novel and all kinds of cool autographed CKY memorabilia you can get. Sivan wants to know some CKY questions. I don't know much about CKY. I really don't. I don't really follow them. You got to ask Chad all that stuff. He seems the one that really enjoys. And it's funny, too, because there's some people say, hey, how's CKY doing? I'm like, CKY is awesome. They're one of my favorite bands. Chad will he will call Jesse and then say, FRANTZ is going around talking to everybody about our band on social media and it's bullshit. Then Jesse will get all panicked. FRANTZ, what are you doing? Take all this stuff down. And I'm like, Jesse, I'm not saying anything. I don't even know anything about your band other than you're in it. Is Chad talking to you, Jesse? And he goes, well, how'd you know Chad called me? I said, because Chad is the only one that can get you in this kind of a mood. So then Chad will call me and say, everybody on social media is saying you're giving out secret information about CKY. What the fuck? And I have to say, Chad, I don't know anything about CKY, nor do I care. I just like the music. And we always go back and forth. This happens about once every 6 months. Apparently, all I have to do is open up my mouth and say the word CKY, and Chad finds out somehow. Chad says he doesn't troll my social media. He always says other people, the fans, get back to him with it. I don't know. Maybe Chad is watching this right now. Chad, I love you, and I love your music. I love the sweet sounds of CKY, Chad. Marty Gibson wants to know, is there going to be a Jackass 4? Jackass 4 was really bad grandpa. There was a contract. The way it was explained to me was it was a contract in the works where they had to fill a certain amount of films. And rather than do a Jackass 4, they agreed on doing Bad Grandpa, which is awesome. I mean, come on. Someone likes my Chad impersonation. Thank you. Oh, Sexy La Villa Vallo 101 wants to know if I still rock my flannel. Yeah, I had it on earlier. It was one around here. It's a little cold up here in the mountains, so in my compound. So I don't have the flannel on now. I got my hoodie on. Marty Gibson wants to know if there's going to be Jackass 5. Jesus, I don't know. They haven't really made Jackass 4 yet, technically, even though they kind of had. Chris Buss says he donated to our Indiegogo to perpetuate our graphic novel project, the Brandon Novak Chronicles. And this graphic novel is going to be so cool. It's I think it's the coolest thing that I've ever done. Really, one of the cool things is the featured story is going to be a CKY story. So it's going to put you, the reader, right there alongside of the CKY crew for a crazy adventure. I'm so excited about it. Always want to do a graphic novel. As a matter of fact, here I got some graphic novels I've currently been reading. I have, let me see here. I'm going to put this up. Yeah, I got Sweatshop by Peter Bagg. And this is about a bunch of people who decide to make their own comic books. This is an awesome graphic novel. Great illustrations. Peter Bagg was known mainly, well, I don't want to say mainly, he got his recognition for a lot of Fantagraphics projects, such as Neat Stuff and Hate Comics, where he chronicled the life of Buddy Bradley, kind of his big signature character, Generation X guy. Buddy Bradley was the face of Generation X through the late 80s and early 90s, and he really defined what it was. A lot of his comic books take place in Seattle. But I've also been reading the Back to the Future graphic novels. These are amazing. Let me tell you. I mean, because a lot of them, they don't really have a lot of linear storylines, so they're kind of like short subject matter, which is always my favorite graphic novel narrative. And these are great. I mean, like, you pick one of these up, you get to see how Marty McFly met Doc and how he met Jennifer, and kind of how there's just it fills in a lot of the blanks, and it just gives you so many supplemental stories. I recommend them highly. Okay, so let me see here. Aw, Carlos Alba says, I rock for putting this together, man. He shouts out. Thank you. Love you. Joe Waters says, check out the Vision of Mother Panic when it comes out in trade paperbacks. Okay, that I will. Oh, someone says the flannel's right behind me. The flannel's right behind me, is it? I don't know. What's this guy talking about? Someone wants to know, Branimir Plesic wants to know if the graphic novel is going to ship to Germany. Absolutely. As well as all the fundraiser stuff, all the fundraiser stuff on our Indiegogo. All that stuff ships internationally. Everything we do from now on is going to ship internationally. I hate people who only ship domestically. It doesn't make any sense because there's, because what the hell? We live in a global village, right? What is going on here? Why can't I see this? Oh, okay. Kitty Louise says the Wizard of Oz series is a good graphic novel series. That would be good. I don't know if anyone out there has checked out the Archie. Remember Archie Andrews, Pals and Gals, and Jughead and all that stuff? They've expanded the Archie Andrews Archie universe into all kind of different parallel worlds. Like in one series, he's like fighting zombies. Zombies take over the school. There's a zombie apocalypse. There's another one where he marries Betty, another alternate Archie universe where he marries Veronica. It's pretty interesting what they've done with that franchise. Oh, you fucker. Oogie Boogie said the graphic. You see, said my flannel's right behind me, and I look. Ha, made you look, he says. Oh, you rascal, you. Hunter Vex wants to know, have I thought about Steve-O and Novak getting together to help others fight addiction? That's actually in the works, and I'm not going to say anything else about it. Marty Gibson says, my hair is getting long. I actually just cut it. Someone wants to know how Novak is, and if I've talked to Bam. I've already answered those. Pennywise the Ridiculous says that Darren has a channel posting guitar work. That should be pretty interesting. I don't talk to Darren much. Every now and then we'll message each other, like on Facebook or whatever. I haven't seen him in a long time, and I miss the dude. He was really fun to work with. When we would make a music video, he would just take direction with no questions. There was no fights. There was no drama. He never cared to argue about anything. He had a lot of trust and faith that the music videos that me and Bam made for CKY were going to be awesome. And yeah, I miss Darren a lot. His music is amazing. Steven Smith wants to know if I've seen Steve-O's new video with H3H3. No, I haven't. I don't know what that is. I should check it out. Thank you. The Phantom wants to know if the ponytail cutting prank in Where the Fuck is Santa was real or staged. I had a feeling they were going to do it because Bam asked me a day later if I had ever thought about getting my ponytail cut. And I knew we were all pranking each other, so I kind of knew that they were going to do it. I was thinking about cutting it anyway, so it got cut. James Cooling, I'm not sure what you're asking. What did we barely feature on screen in Viva La Bam, Jackass, etc.? I don't know what that means. Barely. What's my favorite movie? Stroip wants to know, the 1933 King Kong, hands down my favorite film ever. It's the first film, well, not the first film, but it's the first major film where there was a fake monster, a fake big monster. It was the first film where the hero or anti-hero, depending on how you look at Kong, was not a real character. It was animated. I love the fact that with that film, they pioneered a lot of stop motion animation technique. And also it was the first big film to have thematic music. You know, whenever Kong comes on, dun, 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 dun. You know, I mean, when you watch a Star Wars movie, right, you have Luke Skywalker. He has his own theme music. Darth Vader, he has his theme music. So that's That's how it started, our intellectual heritage. Joe Waters is signing off. God bless you. Okay, Chris Williams wants to know what's going on with Bam's film, I Needed Time to Stay Useless. When Bam first started editing that film, like 3 years ago, I remember I went over to his house for the first time and I watched it, and it was like 3 hours long. And I was like, when are you gonna, well, he asked me if I wanted to see a clip of it. And then I ended up watching 3 hours of it with him, and I was like, okay, it looks like you need a little editing. He asked me to help him, and I was like, dude, there's too much footage for me to get involved. You need to do this. You need to work this out. Then it became a movie about Ryan Dunn's dead corpse visiting him and telling him that Iceland needed a skate park, which I really didn't know what to think of that. I was like, what? This is such dark subject matter. And I realized then that the film was kind of Bam's therapy that he was going through. So he did. So, and then he made it then he made it a movie about Novak and how he was fucking with Novak. And then then the movie morphed into a documentary about Andy McCoy. And then it became a movie back about how Bam needed time to stay. The movie has gone through so many stages and so many edits. I can't, I don't know if that movie's ever going to get done. It's pretty, he has so much good footage. Bam has so much good footage. And I think that it's difficult because Bam comes from a film background and a time when it was difficult to even find video cameras. So footage is always so limited. So his options were so small that he would finish the CKY films and stuff pretty fast. Like when we did Haggard was filmed on a 10-to-1 ratio. So so it's a 90-minute film. So we had 10 times that film, 900 minutes from which to choose. I mean, editing was pretty easy. Nowadays, people just keep the cameras rolling, and there's so many good shots that you can get, and editing becomes astronomically difficult. The Phantom has osteoporosis. I'm sorry to hear that. It's terrible. I'll pray for you. Let me see here. Rizaki Kozumi says he wants Bam to split the movie into multiple parts. I mean, Bam has enough footage for like 3 different movies right now, so we'll see what it turns into. Okay. Oh, you fucker! Don't tell me you have osteoporosis, Phantom, if you don't really have it, you fucker. I wasted a prayer on you. That might be one less prayer that God grants you. But he thanks me. You can thank God. Someone asked me what religion I am. I'm not really a religion. I believe in God. Which God do I believe in, you might ask? I believe that all religions are simultaneously true. And some people say, well, how can you say that? Because Muslims believe in one form of God, and Jewish people believe in another form of God, and Christians believe in another form of God. Here's the way I look at it. If you want to start proving other people's versions of God wrong, you're going to waste your life. You're going to spend all your time having meaningless debates. It's easier to accept them all. So I believe in Muhammad. I believe in Krishna. I believe in the Buddha. I believe in Jesus. I believe in Moses. I believe, even the Muslims believe that Jesus was a prophet, right? Only Muhammad was the seal of the prophets. So by accepting all religions, I find I have a lot more friends than a lot of people who don't. And I don't waste all my time trying to prove other people wrong, because you can't be wrong with a religion. Religion is a method of acceptance of a larger reality. By accepting all religions, my reality is so much larger. Laurie Hemi wants to know, with movies like Where the Fuck is Santa, is it super frustrating leaving out gold footage? Well, considering I hated working on that movie with all my heart, it's funny because I wrote that movie. I came up with the concept for that movie. I was an executive producer on that movie and the director of photography of that movie, and I hated working on it. So I stayed out of the editing room purposefully. No fun. That movie was a corporate nightmare. Marty says my audio is fucking up. There's nothing I can do about that. That's a live stream issue. My audio is still exactly the same. Hunter of X wants to know if I had any involvement in the family therapy episode with Bam in April. No, Bam tried to get me involved in that, but they already had an apparatus in place with cinematographers and producers all under contract with the production company and all that stuff. And, you know, I think I would have liked to have worked on it, but I think it also would have been pretty depressing. Would have been nice to work with Bam, though. Sexy La Villavala 101 wants to know, says, if I see you in public, would it be okay to come say hi? Yeah, absolutely. I love it when, I mean, it's not often because usually I'm behind the camera or behind the scenes guy, you know, but it seems just about wherever I go, someone remembers me from the CKY days and wants to say hi. And it's really nice when someone says, hey, like Haggard was one of my favorite movies. That's very special that people remember that old stuff that we used to do. You know, it's interesting because doing a lot of network shows now, not a lot of people are gonna, I mean, we all like reality shows and we all just like to tune out of our lives and just watch television. But, you know, a lot of people aren't going to remember a lot of these reality shows and stuff, you know, that are on television right now. So it's kind of nice to have been a part of this particular genre that will hold a special place in people's hearts for at least the next generation, or at least the generation that's in their 20s now. You know, little kids coming up now, they really don't understand why all that stuff was special. You know, they're like, well, you made the CKY videos. How did they get popular? Did you put them on YouTube? And I try and explain to them there was no YouTube, and that conversation goes to hell from there. Derek Shaw said Haggard was great. All right, guys. Well, that's kind of all the time I have allotted for this. I got to get back to work on the graphic novel, on doing some writing. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you all. Thank you so much. And again, check out the Brandon Novak Chronicles official trailer on YouTube, and check out our Indiegogo. So if you go to Indiegogo and you hit, I'll put the link in the description box, and you can see the trailer there. And you get all kinds of limited edition hand-signed CKY items, which you're going to want to treasure and will help us out raise funds for the graphic novel. Thank you so much. I love you.